Hello, my name is Einar. I have a water store and I'm passionate about water. Do you know what this is?
That looks like a vortex.
Yes, it is. What does that do?
Is it a representation of the way energy moves throughout the universe?
Yes, pretty much. This is how water rejuvenates itself in nature, but it's also the way the galaxy moves. It's the way the blood of the body spirals itself through the veins and arteries. It's also how babies, if they are born naturally, spirals themselves out of the woman's vagina. What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty interesting. It falls in line with all the movement that I've observed in nature, and it makes sense to me.
Yeah, to me too. And what is really water? Water is a kind of a living entity. It's alive, and it's a media for communication within our bodies, like it is on the planet Earth. Water is in a way one entity that connects mountains and the ocean through the waterways, the riverbeds, and upcoming spiraling spring water that just floats out in a fountain.
So I know I have a question.
Yes.
So what's water's main function in nature?
Communication, I think.
Communication?
Yeah, communication. Because if you look inside of our bodies, if the water is of poor quality, then the body will have less capacity to bring in nutrients to the cell, to the center of the cell, and also to bring the toxic waste from metabolism out of the cells. And high quality water is totally essential for doing that. And also it is only one thing to think of instead of changing your whole diet in a week because you have become sick or something. Then it's much easier to change your water habits because it's only one thing to change, and you feel good about yourself when you have done it over some weeks. It takes normally 3 weeks or 3 repetitions to change a negative habit within yourself. So start with water. That's the key here. Do you want to talk a little bit about Amore?
Yeah, actually I met Einar. He has a water store in Costa Mesa, and he basically restructures water so its effect on the body is healing. And there's a big difference between water that comes out of the tap that has a bunch of metals and chlorines and different type of chemicals attached to the water molecule. The body can't absorb it. So the process that Einar uses, he actually strips the water down and then restructures it and builds it back up using these natural toroidal motions and these natural processes which actually restructure water so they can be absorbed through the cell wall. And he sells what he calls Aqua Amore, and Amore for him is an acronym. Most of all of love, obviously, because everything's guided by love that's true and clean. But from there, I mean, it really stands for what kind of process he puts the water through to refine it. And would you like to talk more about Amore?
Yes, Amore stands for A for alkalize, M for mineralize, O for oxygenate, R for restructure, and E for energize. And energize is the consequence of the four before Amore. And nowadays people have a diet that is highly acidic. And to compensate for that, we have added the alkalinity to the water. But and then we go over to the next step, which is minerals in the Amore. Minerals is extremely important nowadays because the soil is pretty much depleted for minerals, and it's also depleted for fulvic and humic acid, which converts inorganic minerals into an organic ionic state that can be utilized on a cellular level. So to compensate for that, we add the broad spectrum minerals as well that makes the tree strong and the body strong.
Quick question, Einar.
Yeah.
I've heard that water that doesn't have mineral content in it actually enters the body and starts leaching your body and bones looking for those minerals. Is that true?
Yeah, everything in nature tries to get in balance. So body will basically steal minerals from the bones
Step.
The next step is oxygenation, and that is what happens within this vortex here.
What is that?
That's the vortex, and that's the natural movement based on implosion technology. And implosion technology is the opposite of the energy that we use in our modern society, like in a bomb, for example, or in a car engine. Then it is explosion principle, the male principle in nature, and implosion is the opposite, where the energy goes from the periphery towards the center, and that's the nurturing feminine energy in nature. Yes.
And what's the next step?
That is restructuring, and basically that happens also within the vortex. You can also do that through electricity, but that's not what we have chosen to do. But when you vortex the water, it goes, when you do that through the waterways, the water is always in contact and resonance with the surroundings, like the stones and crystals it meets on in the riverbed down to the ocean, or up a spring water channeling thing. And but in the store we do not have a riverbed, so we also have resonance vortexes that compensate for that missing part. That's like a kind of a cosmic antenna that communicates with nature all the time and transfer information to the water, so it's always charged with water, no, with energy. But that's extremely important, because when we let the water go through straightforward pipelines under the big cities, we basically almost destroys the water's ability to rejuvenate itself. So
now, Einar, do these motions have any effect on the angle of the water molecule?
yes, they do. Normal tap water, I think, has something around 104, 105 degrees. And the more you charge the water, the more the angle between the hydrogen and the oxygen will open up, and you basically charge it with high energy that will nourish your body a lot better.
So these angles are actually absorb into the body better than something that's
Yes.
a less angle.
Yes.
Interesting. So that's restructure. So what's next? Energize. What's energize?
Yeah, the energize is just the consequence of all the other elements in amor.
I like the amore concept. The water is actually charged with love in a way, and I think that it's really important to maybe use that template throughout your life within, your approach to how you treat your mind, body, and spirit, and maybe how you interact with people. So it's what really has brought me close to the water. I think it's like an alchemical process in a way, if you will, in how restructuring the water is actually a template of how you could restructure your daily habits in your life.
Yes, you can do that. And the good thing when you start with using the water is it's only one thing to think about. You don't have to change your whole diet. You don't have to do 1 million things that you don't have the time to do. So water, it's just changing your soda habits into water habits, and you'll feel the difference.
And there's a couple people that you could look up on the internet. If you want to learn more about the esoteric properties of water, you could look into a really fun guy to research is Dr. Masaru Emoto. And if you want to learn more about a scientist, is he a scientist, Schauberger?
Oh yeah, Victor Schauberger is an amazing scientist that has done work we would have had world peace on this planet if his ideas had been followed.
Yeah, and he basically observed nature in the way that water kind of flowed through streams in toroidal and spiral motions, and that these implosion type of energies and technologies are natural to the Earth and the universe.
Thank you for listening to our passion about water.
Do your own research, and you too can see how water can be beneficial to your life.
Thank you. To balance itself.